What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime coming back at you with another video, and in this video today, guys, I'm here to bring you all a review of灰to Gensou no Grimgar episode 3. So let's get it started. Be quiet. You done? So pretty much every single anime that has come out for this season of winter of 2016 is nearly there at the 3rd episode mark, and灰to Gensou no Grimgar is one of the anime that has already finished a quarter of the way through its entire series run, at least for season 1, because we don't know if this series will end up getting a second 2. It's too early to say that there, but this is going to be where people are going to start thinking, is灰to Gensou no Grimgar actually worth watching anymore? Like, why should I care anymore? Should I continue? Should I drop it? You know, stuff like that. So, let me give you a rundown of my personal feelings of what I have about this series so far before we get to the actual review. So, my thoughts on灰to Gensou no Grimgar are a bit mixed on what I feel about the series. Sure, this is a series. This is a beautifully animated series that I think everybody should check out and at least give a few episodes in to make their judgment if they want to catch up to the series. And me personally, I want to keep watching the series. It is a very entertaining series. It's just I have some mixed feelings on how I feel about the story and the characters. Let's first start with the characters. The characters in this series are really not interesting to me. They really aren't. I really don't have a grasp on everybody's name in the guild. Let's just call it a guild because they are a group after all. But when it comes to the characters, none of them seem to, you know, I can't really connect with. They're not really relatable. Sure, they are animated characters within a world, but you know, you should at least have a character or two that, you know, you will come across in any form of entertainment, movies, books, you know, anime, stuff like that, that you can at least relate to, and that's what immerses you into the story. And right now, personally, the characters are kind of boring to me. They are not really the most well thought out characters, but yet, because more will probably be given character development over time, but if it's really what's making me stick with the series, it's the world. The world of Grimgar is a different take on the MMORPG genre, or at least maybe they are not even in a MMORPG. Maybe these characters were just thrown into this world. I mean, it was kind of hinted at they were just thrown into this world and just kind of appeared there, but how exactly it all went down, that is the most mysterious thing to me, and that's what makes the world of Grimgar really exciting, because, you know, these characters have lost their memories of the previous world that they have lived in, the real world, and they are now thrown into a fantasy world that is completely unknown to them, and they have to survive in this world because everything is realistic to them. It's not something that is like Sword Art Online or Log Horizon, for example, where, well, actually, technically, this series, I guess you can say, is a modernized version of Log Horizon because of the strategy is involved. But when it comes to Sword Art Online, you know how they will like kill somebody and then they will shatter to bits and pieces? Yeah. When it comes to this series, when you die, you die. And I can already see some of the death flags for some of the characters within this anime series as well. But yeah, now at least going to the story, another problem that I have with this series right now is that it really doesn't seem to be heading in any specific direction. They're kind of just standing in the same place. They really are. It's like, you know, we get a little bit of slice of life, we get a little bit of fan service, I guess. I mean, they don't really go too hardcore on the fan service, which I appreciate, but when they do come to the fan service parts, they express it in a way that only focuses on, you know, let's go peep on the girls in the bathroom and whatever. And that's exactly what went down in this episode for about 10 minutes straight. I shit you not, because, I mean, I counted. I looked at the time, and technically halfway of the episode was spent on just these characters try to prevent the girls from being exposed by Ronka. I guess that's the Dark Warrior guy who is trying to sneak on and peep on the girls. So yeah, 10 minutes could have been used to world build the world of Grimgar more, and it just could have served a lot more focused onto that. But also another problem, or the same problem, let me say, is that, you know, as I said before, this anime doesn't really seem to have a specific direction, because, as I said before, it's either, you know, the fan service aspects, kill some goblins, and then pretty much everything else is just settling down and buying clothes, from at least for what we got in these few episodes. Now, I really hope that they do move on from their current location, because this series does have potential. I will say it does have potential. But from what we have gotten in these past 3 episodes, it really hasn't really seemed to go anywhere. So that's at least my personal thoughts on the series. I have mixed feelings about it, but it is definitely still a very enjoyable series. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section down below on what you think about this series so far. But for right now, I'm going to go to the actual review of this episode. The rest of this episode focused on our team members actually getting better at team play strategy and how to defeat certain goblins, because, you know, they're actually using communication now. They're not getting anxious or nervous during battle like they did in episode 2, which we saw, you know, Ranka just charging in, waving his sword and whatnot, you know, but in episode 3, we see that they are getting better at strategy and actually giving off certain commands now. We see that the thief guy, the main character of the series, he ends up halting the big guy with the sword. Like I said, see, I can't remember some of these characters because they are still uninteresting to me. Hopefully they do end up getting better over time, because like I said, the characterization is, it's building, but it's still stale in my opinion. But I do like the characterization that we got in this episode with how our main character, or our characters in general, are learning better communication skills and team play strategy in order to defeat these certain monsters in battle, so that way they don't have to stick, you know, just killing the goblins, but rather possibly moving on to bigger monsters in the near future, which I really hope, because like I said in my little rant in the beginning of this video, will our characters, you know, actually move to a different location rather than sticking to the location that they have been in, just been defeating certain goblins. I want to see them actually, you know, get stronger, because I think it's taking them a little bit too long for starting on a really basic level. But if this series is going to have multiple series in the near future, like seasons, then this will be all right. But right now, I think the series is moving too slow, in my opinion, but it's not necessarily a bad thing either. So, I mean, like I said, I have mixed feelings about this series, but I guess that's what I have to live with. But yeah, other than that, there really isn't much else to go about when it comes to this episode of Grimgar, because as I said before, there was only 10 minutes worth of this episode focusing on, you know, trying to prevent these girls from being peeked on by Ranka. And in the other half of this episode, we got team-based strategy to defeat these goblins, which was a good thing. It gives more development for the characters as well. But then we also got more slice of life, which focused on them buying food and underwear, and obviously we get to see some romantic tension going on as well. So when it comes to the slice of life, it's not a bad thing. When it comes to this type of series, it's not a bad thing at all. And personally, I really enjoy the slice of life aspect because it actually shows these characters living within this world day by day. But I think that, you know, it focuses on the slice of life a little bit too much, because I want to see what other things can go down in this anime series, because I know it does have potential. Like in episode 4, will there be a moment where we get some clarification on how exactly these characters arrived in this world and in the first place, and how they can actually get to back to their world, their real world in the reality? Because, I mean, all they really need to do is just introduce something in the next episode, because right now we don't know any direction on where this series is heading. But if they bring in something in episode 4 that actually can give our characters a clue on, you know, where they are in the world and how they can actually get out of it, then I can see a direction on where the series will go from there, and then it gives, you know, the viewers more of a reason to keep watching this show. But right now, there is pretty much no direction for where this series is heading, and that's where I get a little bit disappointed with this series, and I get a little bit worried as well, because as I said before, this anime does have potential, but I just don't know where it's going. That about does it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my review of灰と幻想のグリムガルEpisode 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below if you are going to continue this series. I personally am. It's just I have a little bit of mixed feelings with this series, but hopefully, you know, it will start to pick up in the next few episodes, and more will be explained on the world and some of the characters as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as well, if you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to stay up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you'll never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a great day.